everybody, it's Mickey, and today we are in the kitchen where we are going to be doing some freezer baking. Today I'm going to be baking with the holidays in mind. With Thanksgiving just a few weeks away, a little work ahead of time can make those busy days ahead so much easier. Today I'm going to be making breads and muffins, and then in a few weeks I'm going to devote a whole weekend to baking and freezing holiday cookies. So to get ourselves started today, I have out two binders, my fall binder and my baking binder. Inside this fall binder I have all the recipes that I make for Thanksgiving, and it's where I keep my pumpkin bread recipe that we'll be making, a couple loaves of pumpkin bread and some pumpkin muffins. And in this baking binder I have a whole section where I have recipes for breads and muffins. I'll be making a buttermilk cinnamon bread, and I have my recipe for banana bread. So here on my kitchen table I am all set up with a couple cooling racks. I have some Ziploc freezer bags, some Reynolds wrap, and some cling wrap. So we're going to get started baking. Whenever I am doing a lot of baking like this, I always reread my recipes and gather all my ingredients. I get out my mixing bowls and all my measuring cups. You'll want to prepare your pans with a good baking spray. Honestly, I think most brands work really well. I get mine at Costco. I use this Kirkland Signature brand, and it works really well for me. I always try to pre-measure my ingredients because it just makes the assembly so much quicker. So for my pumpkin bread recipe, here I have 3 cups of sugar, 3½ cups of flour with cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. I have 2½ cups of pumpkin, 2/3 of a cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 4 eggs. And I also have my mixing bowls ready to go. All the recipes used today will be listed in the information bar below. With most quick bread recipes, you mix your wet and dry ingredients separately, so be sure that you have multiple sizes of bowls available. Always break your eggs first in a separate cup before adding it to your bowl. This way, if your egg is spoiled, you won't ruin your batter. When you can, double your recipe so that you can make both bread and muffins. I was able to get 1 loaf of bread and 18 muffins from this one recipe. The pumpkin bread is out of the oven, and it is such a beautiful golden brown and smells wonderful. Next up is this simple cornbread recipe made better by adding a cup of buttermilk. This recipe makes about a dozen but can easily be doubled. The cornbread is cooling next to the pumpkin muffins and bread. Next we will be making my husband's favorite banana bread. This is such a great banana bread recipe. I will leave it in the information bar down below. You can use 3 or 4 ripe bananas in it, and we like to top this one before baking with a sprinkling of cinnamon sugar. Truth be told, this bread never actually made it into the freezer. My husband quickly snagged it off of the cooling rack and enjoyed it with some honey butter after dinner. Our last recipe is for buttermilk cinnamon swirl bread, which is my personal favorite. This bread is layered and topped with cinnamon sugar, which is all swirled together before baking. Be sure that everything is completely cool before you begin to wrap it up to freeze. I label a freezer gallon-sized Ziploc bag with the contents and date. These breads and muffins are safe to be frozen for about 3 months. I wrap the muffins first in cling wrap, and then I place them in the labeled bag. Be sure to get as much air out as possible before sealed. For the breads, I first wrap each loaf in cling wrap, then in foil, and then finally in the labeled Ziploc freezer bag. All the recipes made in this video will be listed in the information bar below. So in the end, we were able to make 30 muffins and 5 loaves of bread ready to be frozen for the holidays. So So thanks so much for spending some time with me today in my kitchen. Please leave me a comment down below and don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you all back as part of our YouTube family. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, and I will see you again soon. Bye.